Hi, Jeff Murrah here. Welcome to Healthy Marriage Tips, where we're continuing the series that we have been doing on dealing with codependency and rescuing. Today we're going to be looking at what I call the extreme life of rescuers, because those that are caught up in the codependency and the rescuing, they live a life that is filled with extremes. And by the extremes, a lot of times they feel like they have to help people, or in other words, a savior type complex. And if they're not caught up with the savior type complex, at the other extreme, you're looking at what I go ahead and call a Judas type of mindset. Let me go ahead and contrast these. That'll give you a better idea. On the savior side, the person is wanting to help everyone, has a mindset that they can do no wrong in all their rescuing and all these things. They literally view themselves as being indispensable, that things can't go on without them. Whereas at the Judas side, they feel like they're always failing to help, they can do no right, or they're worthless. And a lot of times their life goes from one extreme to the other. There's very little moderation in there. And some people find themselves more hitting on that savior complex, where they're in that type of mindset, whereas others are in that failure type of mindset, and some are just bouncing back and forth between the two. And that leads you to feel like your life is out of control. Well, it is, because you're going from one extreme to the other. And let's go ahead and talk about the downside, the Judas side, because what happens many times when the rescuer tries to help and they fail, or they try to help and they're not appreciated, or they just give up and don't even try, those are the things that cause them to go into a tailspin, to feel worse about their life, and feel like they can't do anything right. And this is all part of the unhealthy thinking that happens there. And to help you get out of this, I'm going to go ahead and pose some questions to you. One, what are the ways that you go about trying to help others? And in terms of your response to this, it's going to help if you write these things out. Because as long as you do it in your head can work against you. But when you write it out, it has a way of sticking with your mind. So write out the ways of how you try to help others. And then talk about when you feel like you're either that savior or that Judas. What are the times that take you to one extreme or the other? And then another thing to consider is, how do you feel at the very thought of having to say no? Because one of the healthiest things you can start to learn to do is to say no. And in some cases, it's no to the rescuing, and in some cases, it's no to the not rescuing. And it's going to take some trial and error to figure out where you need to stand there. But go ahead and start answering those questions, because it's going to start interrupting those unhealthy patterns so that you can change them. Because as long as you allow them to stay, it's almost like it's going to dominate your thinking and take things over, and that's not what you're wanting. So we're wanting to go ahead and break those unhealthy patterns and get you headed in a healthy direction. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to leave them below, or you can email me and I'll be glad to get to them. Email me, jeff@restorethefamily.com. So until next time, this is Jeff Murrah, wishing you best regards. Goodbye.